Bankroll Nation, stand up and counsel bless. It's your favorite smoker, your neighborhood smoker. One of the young OGs with counsel with some shit. Jay Good Vibes, welcome to Jay Smoking Session. It's gonna be a long ass episode. Y'all want that journalism shit? Y'all getting that journalism shit? Along with a couple recaps. And also, welcome to season 3. Episode 1 is like total of 40 episodes. So that's like a big accomplishment on my bucket list. 40 episodes is crazy. And before I get started, I want to say congrats to one of my biggest um, inspirations and also people I look up to in the podcast game. Congratulations to Drink Champs. 10 years anniversary. That's a big accomplishment. The first hip hop podcast ever. For them to just reach that accomplishment is big. And congrats to them. They legends in my eyes when it comes to the podcast game, especially for our culture. So shout out to Nori, shout out to DJ EFN, and also doing production that been going crazy for the past 10 years. Now I got a couple of NBA recaps. Trey Young will definitely decline his contract for 2026 and 2027. So he's going to enter the free agency. So it's saying the Miami Heat could end up getting him throughout this whole free agency. That's if they don't get Giannis. So it's like Miami Heat is still interested in trying to get Giannis. It'd be crazy if they'd be able to get both of them. But Giannis, as the big star as he is, he's going to want a lot of money. Same thing with Trey Young. So don't even know. And like I already mentioned, Miami Heat's interested in Giannis trying to possibly get a trade for him. And also the Boston Celtics is trying to get him. I feel like Boston Celtics would be a perfect team for him, and that would be like a good little system that they can work around. Because you can put him as a center, you put him as a power forward. Hell, you might do a little small forward, but Giannis is that dude. So hopefully he get what he deserved. Also, Walker Kessler, he also declined his contract for a 140 mil 5-year deal with the Utah Jazz. And he's gonna be a free agent. There's gotta be a reason why he declined that. He's a hell of a player. Utah Jazz really ain't got nobody over there. So hopefully they're able to keep him. But we'll see. And you got the Phoenix Suns star Devin Booker changing his jersey number from number 1 to number 15, from his past playing with the USA basketball team, and also that's a college number of his father's. So shout out to Devin Booker. Last but not least, SGA, Shea Gilgeous Alexander. He left Converse, and he's going to sign a multi-year deal with Nike. That's big. That's a huge loss for Converse, though. Shout out to SGA. He had a hell of a year this past basketball season. Now, what everybody love, the wrestling news. Let's get to it. TNA got a lot of issues going on, bro. Like a lot of issues. Like Tommy Dreamer's no longer with TNA anymore. That's a long story with that. And he already spoke about it on Busted Open on his podcast. Y'all can check it out. I put the link on the bio. Description. Tessa Blanchard also, she asked for her release in TNA. Even and it was granted. I was surprised they let her go. That's a huge loss for TNA. Another big loss. Steve Macklin also asked for his release in TNA, which is also a huge loss. So Steve Macklin could end up heading to AEW, WWE, but from the looks of it, AEW is a little bit more interested in him. So we'll see. And then another big loss, Sammy Callahan. He also is no longer with TNA. The only W that they got right now is like Trey Miguel is re-signing with TNA, which I think everybody's seen that coming. He had a hell of a year in TNA. But as far as like these big losses, it seems like it's a lot of backstage heat and drama that's going on in TNA between the superstars and also the higher ups. So hopefully they get it together and keep their big stars. That it ain't had nothing. I just know it ain't had nothing to do with no budget cuts. So that's a plus. It ain't got nothing to do with budget cuts. So they ain't doing no bullshit like WWE with the whole budget cut shit. Then we can go straight to the recap with TNA. You know, they only had like 3 matches, but it was long enough. They had one big 6-man tag team match between the world champion Mike Santana, KC, and Nick Nemeth. They defeated the TNA International Champion Mustafa Ali and his crew, the Great Hands. And that was they say they was also accompanied by Tasha Steelz and Special Agent Zero, which I was surprised that they let Montana and them get over, but at the same time I'm not. That match was crazy, but it ain't crazier than the next one I'm about to mention. The Hardys and Moose against the System. That was a crazy ass match. It was a lot of storylines in that between the multi tag team ladder match that's coming up in the pay per view, and also Moose having his issues with the System. That's like match of the night, 10 out of 10. But it was accompanied by one of the members of the System that helped the team win. Also, they got distracted by the Righteousness. I hate that team, but hell of a team. They the tag team champions. Then the singles match, Indy Hartwell defeated Alanya Black. Another good match. But normally they had like 4 or 5 matches. They only had 3, which is surprising. Um, but other than that, like TNA always gonna be TNA as far as like the matches. But I hope they get it together by keeping the superstars. 'Cause they don't want to reach that downfall like they reached before, a long time ago. Shout out to my dog Leo Rush, DMV, becoming the new RH World Television Champion. Hey, I was proud to see that. I reacted to that. Y'all could check it out on TikTok. Damn. They got the SmackDown recap and they got the AEW recap. So I'm gonna start with AEW. AEW got a lot more shit going on. So you take a puff of this, though. Thank you. All right. AEW recap. Kenny Omega defeated Tony Nese in a pinfall, falling with his finishing move to beat him. 10 out of 10 type of match. Um, then you got Bandito and Brody King. They defeated the Death Riders, John Moxley and Daniel Garcia in the pinfall, which that surprised me that they put over them over Death Riders. Not saying they're not a great team, but the caliber of John Moxley and Daniel Garcia, they're a little bit more, I would say a little bit more over, but Bandito and Brody King are over too. So it's a win-win situation for both of them though. They had a hell of a match. Mercedes Monet defeated Haskell in a submission match to advance to the finals in the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament. Looked like she might become the first ever 2-time Owen Hart Foundation champion. She'll make history with that. Then you had Team MJF versus Team Briscoe. All right, so on Team MJF, we had Andrade, we had Kushida, we had Kyle Fletcher, we had Kevin Knight and Joe Dole, and then Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe had Orange Cassidy, Kyle O'Reilly, Roger Strong, Darby Allin, and they had Tassilo. So they lost from a submission match, but that match, crazy as shit. Um, a lot of issues and storylines along with that match. I know a lot of people want my opinion with MJF. Well, as far as like this championship run, I see a lot of people when I react to one of his videos. A lot of people text me personally, or they say what they said. Uh, Me personally, MJ, like I said, MJF gonna be MJF. He's one of the top guys in AEW. Ain't no nothing that everybody can't really do about that. He's that dude. Like he's still the future of this business when it comes to wrestling, when it comes to the promos, when it comes to the style, the personality. They one of the biggest heels in this business. So it's like I'm giving him his flowers, but at the same time, it's like you know what to expect from MJF, and everybody know I'm not gonna speak any type of negativity to anybody, especially like a big celebrity or in some type of in celebrity or even in wrestling. So you can try that with somebody else, but like I said, MJF gonna be MJF. Like he remind me of like in some way, shape, or form a young Ric Flair, but just a little different. So it's like Ric Flair mixed with a little Triple H, mixed with like a couple more other superstars. He combined it into his own. But MJF is great. Ain't not much to really say. Do I like him? No. But I respect what he do for wrestling. So you can't really hate on MJF for real. And then the drama with AEW is like the Forbidden Door blueprint where MJF opened up the show, scratching and surfing the promo alongside with the Don Callis family, selecting his team for the steel cage match, while Andrade initially refused to work with MJF and the Don Callis family, and he brought promises of like money and a future championship. Andrade ain't gonna last long in that group. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Then you got Kenny Omega. He called out Zack Sabre Jr. And then he beat the shit out of Tony Nese, which I already explained in that match. And then Zack Sabre Jr., Bad Dude Tito, and Mikey Nicholas, they hit the ring, try to attack them, but the Young Bucks and Jack Perry backed them up, and they stand up. They did their thing. But Omega laying down a massive one-on-one chance to Zack Sabre Jr. for Forbidden Door. That's for real, bro. Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr., that's going to be one of those fuck the 5-star, a 10-star type of match. That's a match you would see in New Japan, and you'd be able to see that in like live national TV on pay-per-view under AEW. It's gonna be a 10 out of 10. That's one of the matches that's gonna steal the show for sure. Then you got Cope and Cage Revenge. The dogs try to jump an AEW production crew member backstage and only find out that they was messing with the disguise of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage. That was funny, bro, but Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are like smart, bro. They veterans. So it's like why even try? But I like how they include the GOATs along with the up and comers. Not saying the dogs wasn't like brand new. They was in New Japan. You know, they was doing their thing over there. But as far as like big national, everybody gonna look at them as like that's like rookies at this point, but they not. But it's a good little it's a good little thing. But they the AEW tag team champions took them out cold though. But they got a long way to go. And I'm happy to see that they getting the flowers that they deserve in AEW. And Swerve and Will Ospreay explode in that incredible tense face to face between Swerve Strickland, Will Ospreay nearly turned into a locker room cleaning brawl ahead of the On Hard Men's Finals tournament. I reacted to that also. You can check that out on TikTok. And then, like I said, the main event chaos. And then the referee got distracted, allowing MJF to lock in the salt of the earth was strong, so that made Tim MJF win that match. And he laid out Mark Briscoe with the diamond ring. And it seemed like he's on a feud with Mark Briscoe for a while, like literally for a while. And from the looks of it, they seem like they trying to put over Mark Briscoe as like the top main event guy, which is very deserving. And I like that they trying to find a way to fit him in there. Especially he's a former world champion, former, ROH world champion. A lot of people be forgetting that ROH is under AEW. So I think a lot of people be forgetting. And some people think that ROH is still like it's still like under this own brand, but ROH is still under AEW. Now, going straight to the WWE recap, it's a little longer than AEW recap. It first started off with they had an undisputed WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes defeated Gunther. The match ended with a pure anarchy when special guest referee Sami Zayn completely went rogue and blasting Gunther with a haluva kick and laying out to both of the superstars, and desperately got to Cody Rhodes later and demanded a triple threat match for the title at Night of Champions. I don't know how to feel about that. Like as a business side of wrestling, I can see where they're going with that. As a fan, it's like I don't know how to feel about that. You're a fan of all three of them, but I'm hoping that Sami Zayn finally get that moment that he deserved, at least a world champion, at least. And now they got the King of the Ring semifinals. They had Jey Uso. He outlasted a phenomenal, great Ricky. That's really the future of the wrestling business. Like I ain't gonna say even if he don't stay with WWE, he's still the future of this business. Javon Evans. It was a great match. One, I reacted to that. I even seen a couple of highlights. So Jey Uso is going against Oba Femi in the finals of the King of the Ring. I'm still going for Oba Femi. I'm a big fan of Jey Uso, but it's the ruler's time. They got Queen of the Ring semifinals. Liv Morgan went over Charlotte Flair, and she got a spot for the finals in the Queen of the Ring. I'm very confused. Liv Morgan is the women's champion. Why she's in the Queen of the Ring? That's a conversation for another day. Uh, the WWE champions, WWE Tag Team Champions, Damian Priest, R-Truth, they successfully they retained it against on the MFTs, the Tonga Brothers. So, and it was a critical misstep by Solo Sikoa, so he kind of caused them to lose their opportunity to win his tag team championships. It's a lot going on with the Bloodline, so it's like on Friday Night SmackDown, Monday Night Raw, so it's like it makes it more interesting to see what the Bloodline got going on both sides. Honestly, man, I'm enjoying it. They keeping it fresh. It's probably like the longest faction storyline probably in WWE history right now. And then they had the Ricky Saints defeated Carmelo Haynes in a light fasting encounter fest, earning a future spot against Trick Williams for the United States Championship. Shout out to Ricky Saints that he's showing out. Shout out to him. I just wish they do something with Carmelo Hayes, bro. Like I just hope they find a way to get him what he deserves. And that's pretty much all I got for y'all when it comes to all the news. Y'all, and like I said, y'all want that journalism shit. I'll be back with the journalism shit because I was told a couple of times that there were certain things that the ESPN don't mention like that I end up mentioning, and along with other podcasters that really don't mention it. So I got y'all with that. If I find out first, of course, I'm gonna end up putting it on the pod. Or even if I'm one of the first couple of people to know, I'm putting it on the pod. And also send my condolences and give flowers to the hip hop producer from Memphis, Ted Key, that passed away. That was found in his apartment. He was only 29. The only thing I know is it's unknown. Um, and that's a big loss for hip hop when it comes like as far as like producer side. He produces a lot of hits. He already a young legend at 20. Like as soon as he hit 25, so much hits. It's too much hits to name. But shout out to everybody that giving him his flowers and sending him condolences. Sending mine. Uh, that's a sad thing for hip hop. Again, rest in peace to Tay Keith. And I'm done when it comes to all of that. I appreciate everybody been supporting me as far as the reaction videos, the podcast. Uh, I wouldn't make it to season 3 of Jay Smoking Session if it weren't for y'all. If it weren't for the supporters, everybody have those days and everybody be in their head. Say just gotta fight it and just keep it and just keep going. And I kept it going because of y'all. Most importantly, I had to keep it going for myself before I can keep it going for anybody else. Hey, Thankful Nation, I love y'all. With that being said, thank bro.